kind of thought of for my campaign. Now it's going to be like, now how am I allocating that? I want to use some time in class to help you, Jekyll and help you. The easiest way to get that started, like I said, is those two tools. So you can kind of plug in your numbers there and start there. And here's some other things to consider to help you kind of back in. And we'll spend some time, we'll spend the rest of the time really kind of developing this in class. And by you should be almost there. You need just a little bit more time when you go home to finish it off. So. So some considerations, sort of like a recap of what we just talked about. What conversion rates can I expect? So that, in terms of like backing into your budget, that's going to require you to get on like Twitter, get on Facebook, kind of plug in some keywords. I know you haven't really covered that yet, but just get some rough numbers to plug in. Going, oh, it looks like I'm going to end up having to spend 60 cents to reach people in this age demographic in this area under these keywords. Like, start putting that stuff together. If you actually were doing this for your own company and you have access to historical numbers and things too, then we can use that to base numbers, to base your budget on. If you don't, then we can make up hypothetical ones and use the industry benchmarks. So Google Insights, like go to Google Insights and I think there's some marketing budget numbers on that. So, and then put your average order value, what's your typical price point, how many items do customers typically buy. You can kind of start to paint a picture or kind of get sort of a hypothetical, well, this is about what they probably are making, in a month and a year, and then you could back into the 10, 12%, to kind of figure out what the budget is going to be. And then back into how long you plan to run your campaign. So get that year number, and then, okay, but I've only run my campaign for 3 months, so I will figure out what 30% of the budget's going to be for those out of the whole for those 3 months. What cost per acquisition can I afford? So those of you that are doing your projects in kind of a startup mode, in stealth mode, then you can kind of say, like, look, this is all that we're going to have. So I need to adjust accordingly. What's your goal profit margin? How much do you need to spend to generate enough traffic for a worthwhile test? How much am I willing to commit to reach a sufficient ROI? So I'm going to give you time in class to just start fleshing out what think your budget is. Like I said, the first place to start, I would pull up one of those tools and plug in some numbers, and we'll give you some allocation, and we can kind of talk like how accurate that is, what to do. So, the considerations, what's your overall goal, what do you know about past revenue, average order value, peak buying times, do you want to back in from goal ROI, monthly year, or just a monthly yearly budget? Will you be aggressive or conservative? That really depends on what stage you're at. So, like, you're starting out, like, your startup project, your startup company, you might be a little bit more aggressive on what you're going to spend. It's so important just to get people talking and get them there, the awareness of. What is the cost to acquire? And again, what's the cost to acquire 1,000 users per channel? The channels that you're considering using, so search ads, social ads, retargeting. And you can either use the tool, or you can just kind of pull up the spreadsheets that are in, two options. You can use that tool and kind of like have a graphic kind of breakdown of what the budget should be, and we can kind of talk you through how did you get to that, and like how do you consider this, or actually use some of the spreadsheets that are in the box to start planning. Why does everybody still look at their great things? It's not the fun part. So just start. Start.
This is the hardest part.
Right? I know. But you got to start somewhere. Like, I can't. Well, we're here to help. So, like, kind of, I guess the best way to approach the budget is to go, hey, tell yourself the story. Like, this is what we're thinking. This company makes this much money. Or, the hypothetical is we're going to raise this much in investments and we're going to spend 50% of it. Like, back into anything that you could, any information that you actually have, and then start acting on that, and we'll help you. I think that's the best way to approach this.
I put the lowest number in it, it didn't give me anything to do.
What did you put in, like $100?
No, 300 is the lowest you can get. And then told me to spend 400.
It's like, you have to, is that the tool that says, give us this much money?
It's all for SEO.
That's what it put towards all SEO.
Use the other one and see what it does. Just scroll down and see if this
Isn't that funny? I see 300 and they gave me 400.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they gave me.
Yeah, it's not really. For you, that's like major bootstrapping, this tool is probably not going to be. Look at the other one and see if it spits out anything. But like, they're probably like, oh, do you mean $300 a day? Like, what the? It's a very low budget.
So I'm not a social master.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy. My budget sense. Just right. I mean, you can see,
You know, if you want to be truthful to what you're doing, it's like, look, you're major bootstrapping, so you're only going to have, so what that's really the budget. You're going to just say this is what we're going to do, and these are all the accrual tactics that other people because we don't have.
well, I could put down a hypothetical if I got a budget, if I got somebody that's going to sponsor me.
You could do that too. You could do that too. So, you know, paint the scenario that like, maybe it's maybe somehow it's a product that kind of bonds teenage moms to teenage kids to parents. Some cool new product or app, and they're looking for someone to like put some awareness around this topic. You know, like to be sort of a character for it. So, and they're willing to give you $50,000 to make them a main sponsor and you know, talk about their product. Like,
Yeah, you can say something.
Yeah.
I just like if I got a sponsor or something.
Yeah. Tell some sort of story.
Do I fill this thing out to hear from the
No, don't do it. I know. We're just using their tools. How do I use their tools? Here's the